Hi guys, today I'm going to be crafting. So this right here was supposed to be a base for a school project. This was supposed to be a jerboa, I think that's how you say it. But anyways, you can obviously see that it failed and it came out too big. So while I was, thinking about what I could do with it, I was thinking, hey, this kind of looks like a kiwi bird. So that's when I decided I was going to make myself a kiwi friend. So just before I start talking about the process of making this kiwi, I wanted to come here and say that I'm sorry for the lack of videos, and I can't say that the schedule is going to get any better just because this week has been so busy for me, and it's probably going to continue being busy for the next few weeks just because, 8th grade promotion is currently happening for me, and there's a lot of stuff I need to do. Anyways, so when I was shaping this clay onto the kiwi bird base, it was pretty hard to do since I already had to wet the clay because it was pretty rubbery and dry, and shaping it onto the foil kind of made it really sticky and clumpy. So I don't think you can really notice in this time lapse, but while I was shaping it on there, a lot of pieces of clay would just break into chunks and fall off, and I would have to keep adding and adding, and some areas would be too thick, too thin, and it was just really uneven and really hard to do. I think it's worth mentioning that while I was doing this, I had just returned from school, and I had that little bit of motivation in me to do it. So I was thinking, I better use this fast because as soon as I get home and I go in my room and I do anything else, I'm not going to want to do it. But thankfully for me, whenever I have that little bit of motivation and I started on a project or whatever it may be, my motivation grows as I do it. So the more time I spent doing this, the more I actually wanted to finish it. For a long time, I actually didn't know what a kiwi bird was, and I think I only learned about it maybe a few months ago. I was playing the Roblox game 99 Nights with my friends, and I think it was during the Pets update, the one where you could tame animals. One of my friends brought a kiwi bird, and I was thinking, that's a really cute animal, but I thought it was an actual animal from the game itself and not a real animal. But I later learned that no, it is in fact a real animal, and it is a very cute animal at that. So while I was trying to find references for this clay project, I actually encountered an albino kiwi, which I've never seen before, and they're really cute. They're like angel kiwis. So it's been a few weeks that I've been into making clay things, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's very fun and very therapeutic, and it's a pretty good way to relieve stress. So afterwards, I let the clay dry, and the next day I came back to go and paint it. The clay was kind of cracking in a little bit of areas, so I went in with a wet paintbrush and smoothed out those cracks. And again, I had just returned from school that day too, and I had that same little bit of motivation, so I used it as soon as I got home. Anyways, back on painting, I think I had painted maybe around 5 to 7 coats, and it was pretty hard to paint since I have very long nails, and it was hard to paint the little areas, and it was just they were in the way. I did record most of the process of making this, but as you can see, I left out a lot of it just because this is already pretty long for a short, and I don't want to just constantly show the same thing over and over again. I don't show it, but while I was letting this thing dry, I accidentally dropped it and the beak came off. So that little mistake actually worried me a lot because I thought I was going to have to either shape it, which would be really hard since it's already a very small project, or I would have to scrap it and start all over again. Thankfully, neither of which happened, and instead, I actually was able to glue it back together. I'm sorry for how orangey this video looks, but besides that, this is the finished product. I think it turned out super cute, and I hope you guys think so too.